Hello, friends. My name is James Hawkins, and as always, I'm joined by my good friends Bryan Castiglione and Anthony Alessino, as well as my younger brother, Jack Hawkins. On this show, we're all about parlays, overs, unders, spreads, and money lines. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Parlay-Vous.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Parlay-Vous podcast. We got a full crew for the first time in a couple of weeks. At home, Alessino checking in through the Zoom. We got Bryan Castiglione, Jack Hawkins in the studio. Do we have to do it? Do we want to talk about the Big Blue?
I mean, it's got to be stated. It has to be.
And what's that?
What has to be stated?
That DeVito played himself out of the league 2 weeks ago, and last week he played himself out of every single New York Giant fan he physically can have.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts.
So,
But we'll see.
right now, he's public enemy number one to me.
For winning?
Yeah, it's what we
Yeah.
think.
Fuck are we winning now for? We wouldn't let him grow 3 weeks ago. Now we're winning? Now we're winning games?
Yeah.
Well, what are we doing?
It's
You
the
better
classic
not win
trope,
again,
dude. The
dude. I'm
Italian's
telling you right
the bad
now.
guy.
Better not win again.
Well, I mean, Washington's not like a high-ranked defense. It's not like, stiff competition. We saw what happened against Dallas.
Oh, Jesus
You know?
Christ. My
Yeah,
bad.
it's all right. We saw what happened against Dallas, so, like...
Yeah.
I mean, this week we got the
Always
Patriots. I don't know how this really goes, honestly.
So right now you got Chicago, Arizona, New England, Chicago, Giants.
Yeah.
Chicago, the first Chicago being Carolina's pick. I don't think.
I was going to say, that pick doesn't move, though, right? Like in any
What?
way. That pick won't move, though, right? Just based on what Carolina finishes as?
Yeah, no, Carolina's getting number one.
Gotcha. There's no other conditions
Oh,
on it.
So Chicago's
Oh, no,
Chicago's pick.
it's the Bears pick.
Right, but the pick placement is based off where the Panthers
Yeah.
place. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Okay. There's no like
So
50%
that's-
player thing or anything like that. Okay.
I can't imagine Kyler Murray not winning a game or two down the stretch here. So I think they're out of the number 2 spot. Eventually, Arizona, New England, they have no reason to win. The Bears have no reason to win. The Giants have no reason to win. Number 6, the Titans. They're fighting for. Will Levis is essentially fighting for his starting role and proving that he's the franchise guy.
Yeah.
I think he needs to win a few. Washington, Ron Rivera, I think Ron Rivera is fighting for his job.
Absolutely.
Because Sam Howell's for sure safe.
Yeah, I think
Now
they're
you're
gonna
up to
stick
8
with Hell.
with Atlanta. I don't see Atlanta being able to lose that many games from here moving forward to end up in the top 3. So the Giants need to just do their damn job and lie over. And you got to get a top 3 pick. You have to. You can't have this bad of an unsuccessful year and not get a top 3 pick.
Right. Wind up with like the 10th pick or something like that.
And the Bears
No, that will happen.
obviously have a huge decision to make. Are they? I'm using my Giants segment to talk about the draft. They have a huge decision to make with what are they going to do at quarterback? And I mean, I guess so are the Giants, low key. But like I said before, I say it again. You want to get as close as you can to 1, obviously, at this point, and you want to trade out, in my opinion, and get the draft capital. Because, if you're going to keep taking shots at it and swinging for the fences with these picks and these offensive linemen, they have 4 picks in the top 69 right now. If how obviously it's going to move, but it's 5, 36, 53, and 69. You need 4 starters out of that. And if you trade out, then you need 3 starters and a bunch of capital moving forward next year.
Yeah.
Because we're going to assume that this was a bounce,
A fluke
what do you
season.
want to?
Like a
What?
fluke season for Daniel Jones? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like a fluke. Yeah. And
That's
next
kinda
year
how
they're
I
going to be
feel,
right back
hopefully.
to being a 500 team or a little bit above it. So this is your only chance the next 5 years to get into, top 5 pick territory. You got to take it. And I think Jimmy will agree. It also, like, if you're looking at a team that wants to trade up for Caleb Williams, just saying, I see Tampa Bay possibly.
that's
I see possibly Atlanta, possibly Vegas. which Vegas is sitting at 14. So that's a pretty steep.
They seem to be pretty
Get
good
back.
to O'Connell, though.
Yeah, but for the Bears, what's the benefit of any of these teams trading? You know, obviously we're in the Giants segment, but we can chase this later. We can just put that one on the bookshelf for right now.
No. What do you mean by that?
We'll say, hypothetically, all right, what was the first team you started with? Tampa Bay? What's that trade?
Trying to chase and move up?
Yeah, what pick would they be at right now?
Tampa Bay's 10 right now.
So 10.
Atlanta 8.
So realistically, the trade's got to look like 10, a high-end player.
No.
No? You don't think?
I mean, Jim, correct me if I'm wrong. It's 10. It's next year's first. It's this year's third, and maybe next year's fifth. If I'm willing to move down to 10.
I mean, probably that's where we start. That's where the conversation starts. It's at least 2 1s and a 3, and then we only keep going from there.
Right.
And if you're talking about if the Bears do decide that they're out, they're going to ride with Justin Fields. There's going to be, you just announced that. Teams have done it before. They've made it very clear in the past that they're not going to select the quarterback. The pick is open to the highest bidder. Look at, I want to say 2016, but that could be the wrong year. Goff and Wentz. Both of those teams moved mountains to get up to 1 and 2 to get those quarterbacks. Neither one of the two teams that were there were ever going to take a quarterback, and they took the capital, and the Eagles and the Rams respectively moved up to 2 and 1 to grab their guys. You look at the whole reason Chicago's at the top of the draft right now is because they got that Carolina pick, moving back like a couple of spots with Carolina last year, so that way Carolina could go get Bryce Young. So to me, I don't know. It's really a conversation of how do you feel about Justin Fields. Who is Eberflus going to survive the season? Is the GM, whose name is skipping me right now, do they survive the offseason?
We just looked it up, too.
Because if we have a new head coach once again and a new GM once again in Chicago, they have no ties to Justin Fields. You just don't pick up that fifth-year option, or maybe you do and send him away to a team that wants it picked up. And then either way, you get a little bit of draft capital, not quite as much as you would for the pick. Ryan Poles, I knew that too. And then you restart this thing and you try again over. But I think it's too early to say. There's a whole lot. The pre-draft process doesn't even begin until the college football playoffs are over. Because then we have the Senior Bowl, we have pro days, we have interviews, we have the combine, we have all of these things between the end of the year and now. And then, like we said, fallout with teams, trades that could possibly happen. A bunch of shit is going to happen before late April when the draft comes. But the reason that you make the trade, if you've decided a quarterback should be going in this spot, we're not going to take one. Who's 2 right now? Who's
Carolina, right?
No, Arizona.
Oh, Arizona.
So Arizona's 2, and then who's the Chicago's 3?
Yeah. No. Hold on. New England's 3, Chicago's 4.
So this is a fact of if you're deciding you're not taking a quarterback and you feel pretty confidently that one of those 2 teams is going to take a quarterback, plus the number 1 pick is going to be a quarterback, and you've identified 3 or 4 players that you'd be happy with at your fourth pick or fifth pick, wherever fourth pick Chicago also has. Then you move back and you take everything as a plus because you were never going to say the player they were going to take at 4 is the same guy they would have taken at 1. You get the same guy or one of the same guys you would have been happy with at 1 plus a fucking treasure trove of picks and assets. So that's why you would do it. Because it doesn't make any sense, especially if you're talking about a wide receiver or an offensive lineman, you know, these positions that don't typically go number 1 overall, and for a reason. You look at positions that go number 1 overall, it's quarterback, it's tackle, which sometimes, defensive end. That's really mostly it. Corners don't go top number 1 overall. Wide receivers rarely go number 1 overall. Running backs definitely aren't going 1 overall anymore.
But it's kind of wild because over the past couple of years, we've had DBs go in the top 5.
Top 5, yes. Number 1, no.
Well, who was the number 2 pick the year that Stingley and Sauce came out? Who was the number 2? So I'm pretty sure Stingley was 3 and Sauce was 4.
Yeah, and wasn't that the I assume you're looking it up right now, Alcino.
No, I'm looking up.
What are we looking at?
The Sauce draft, who went
What year? What's he, 2020?
2021.
So here's what I was looking up. Took me a little while. Not that great at
Or maybe
this
2022.
information stuff. But while we're mentioning it, and like I said, we kind of turned this Giant segment into, and the reason why I feel like we need to talk about it is because, yeah, we don't know who the prospect's going to be yet, but we know this is the most important thing now moving forward in the Giants franchise. And the trade that sent Jared Goff to the Rams, I just looked that up. And Jack, this is what I'm saying. So for a team to move out, the Titans got a third, a fourth, two thirds, 2 seconds, a fourth, and next year's first. They turned those picks into an offensive tackle, a defensive lineman who started for them for a few years, Corey Davis, and Derrick Henry.
And
So
my next question is, because this is a learning point for me, and this will be real quick. Unlike NBA trades, NFL draft trades are specifically draft capital based on the freedom it gives you when it comes draft time, because that's how you build your team.
Essentially.
Almost exclusively.
Almost exclusively. So player
It's
for
picks
player
for
trades
picks.
are almost non-existent in the world of the NFL.
Almost never. Yeah, it's almost never.
It's
is it
always a
for
player. It's always a player for capital.
It's a player for picks or a pick for more picks.
Yeah.
It's almost never a player for a player in the NFL ever.
We're using picks to go get what we need, is what I'm hearing.
Exactly.
Basically,
Which is something I did not understand up until right now.
I know. I felt the same way when you guys were talking about how the NBA does the draft and all that stuff and the picks and everything.
and how they have the Stepien rules, so
yeah.
you can't trade. Yeah, so
No
certain
idea.
picks are already traded, even though they're technically not.
Yeah.
It's weird stuff. Well, that's because fucking Stepien was so bad he set the Cavaliers back almost a decade, right?
Well, that was the 90s, right?
What, did they not have a first-round pick for 10 straight years?
Yeah.
Basically.
God damn.
Yeah, that's why.
That's crazy.
You got to fuck up pretty bad to have a rule
Yeah.
named after you, dude.
10 years. That's a long time.
So this is it. We're full stop on we're looking forward to March.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Even though ESPN let go of Mel Kiper, maybe he'll find another place to.
ESPN let go of Mel Kiper.
I'm pretty sure.
He'll be all right.
Well, we need the mock drafts.
I'll have his own pod before you can plug your
I think he'll have
pretty
his
sure
own
they did.
platform by that.
He'll probably just wind up wherever Matt Berry went, CBS Sports. right?
CBS, yeah.
No.
Shout out CBS Sports. They're trying to make a good run out of here.
So
Oh no.
One more
He's still
thing
there.
here.
Who did they get rid of?
They
the
turned-
hockey guy. That's who I'm thinking of. Sorry.
They turned the Wentz deal into Anthony Miller and Jonnu Smith.
Say one more time. Sorry, you cut out on that first half.
They turned the Carson Wentz deal, the Bears,
Mm.
into Jonnu Smith, who was later moved, and Anthony Miller.
who injuries, right? Never really caught on. Wide receiver.
Yeah. Tough. That's tough. So it goes both ways. And I think we just saw that right there. That's
Well,
all
but
good
I
stuff.
mean, and then what did Carson Wentz do? So
Yeah.
you know, sometimes these trades are a moot point.
Well, you know, that's
Yeah.
the thing, though. Like, obviously, the pick doesn't matter when you're the one receiving capital, but now Jonnu Smith as a player has gone on to have... He's having an average NFL career for a tight end, I would say. He's making a living, getting after it.
It's like you look at the Jamal Adams trade, and the Jamal Adams trade effectively netted you Elijah Vera Tucker and Garrett Wilson.
Here's Jamal Adams.
Shut up, Siri.
Blitz boy.
So yeah, the Jamal Adams trade effectively got them Elijah Vera Tucker and Garrett Wilson. I believe they used the other third-round pick in the Jamal Adams trade to move up for the AVT pick a couple of years ago. So, look, if AVT can figure out the health thing and stay healthy and put together, a couple of seasons in a row, those are two smash picks for a guy who might be retiring at the end of the year, Jamal Adams.
Yeah. No, I agree. But anyway, so that's where I'm at with the Giants. I think the win, I mean, I guess it helps the locker room, but it's really bad for everybody else involved. I think Bryan will agree. And I feel like that's it. You can't win another one. You just got to lose. Sorry.
Yeah,
And we'll go.
there's truly no reason to win now. I mean, not with, we already paid Daniel Jones. We know we have to run him back again next year. I mean,
You have to run it back at least one more time with him. I'm sorry, you do. And I don't want to sound crazy for saying this, but I'd rather have him than Caleb Williams.
I
I
don't
don't think you're crazy.
I don't think that's crazy.
I don't think that's crazy because we already paid Daniel Jones. We need to get a return on that. That's really what it's about to me. I mean, talent-wise, Caleb might be better, but we handed him $145 million. Like it needs to pan out.
Gotta see it.
Or else we're doing this for the next. What was his contract? 4 years. We're probably doing this for 4+ because, Giants already don't make splashes in the offseason as it is. So
we can move on to the Jets,
Yeah.
and the Jets, speaking with the draft order, have really
skyrocketed.
making a case for this top 10
They're
here.
making moves.
Number
Sitting at
11
11 right now, right?
Yep, 11.
So here's my segue into the fucking Jets. Tommy DeVito, Jersey Juice.
Jersey Juice.
The jersey, he told all the players last week he's got that Jersey Juice. Tommy DeVito has made 2 starts for the New York Giants this year.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy DeVito has 5 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown in those 2 starts. Zach Wilson, who started effectively the entire season for the New York Jets, has 5 touchdowns total.
Yeah, I saw that stat.
The Zach Wilson era in New York is probably over. MILF hunting season is no longer in session in New York State. I believe, who knows with this organization, with this regime. But here's what I will say. You know how I felt about it from the beginning. Rodgers on Pat McAfee today basically echoed some things that I've been saying all season long about how there's 10 other guys you could point the finger at, and it's not necessarily fair to just blame Zach. Here's what I have to say to Jets fans everywhere. It's not going to be better on Friday with Tim Boyle.
Yeah, it's not.
For the Jet fans that are expecting to get vindication on seeing Tim Boyle step in there and throw for 400 yards, and Tim Boyle is not Mike White. This isn't going to... Jets fans over the course of the last 2.5 seasons have become so accustomed to seeing Zach's out, Mike's in, the offense looks great. Zach's out, Josh Johnson's in, the offense looks great. Zach's out, Joe Flacco's in, the offense looks great. That's not going to be what happens here with Tim Boyle. And honestly, I'm excited for it because now maybe we're going to really see, it's actually Zach was our best option at quarterback all year. Tim Boyle's college stats, when you look, have you ever seen Tim Boyle's college statistics? You look at them and it makes you wonder how the man ever made it to the NFL. 3 seasons at UConn, he had 1 touchdown and 13 interceptions. Then you had 1 season, his 4th year at Eastern Kentucky, which is FCS now, the old D1 AA essentially. And in that 1 year, he threw for 12 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. So this is a guy over the course... What?
I'm going to fact check you. Ready? His entire college career in Connecticut, he had 1 touchdown and 13 interceptions.
That's what I just said, right?
No, I thought you said 1 season.
No, 3 seasons at UConn, he had 1 touchdown, 13
Yes,
interceptions.
you're right. Exactly. Sorry.
1 season at Eastern Kentucky, 13 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Is that right?
I don't see Eastern Kentucky on here. I only see Connecticut.
Over the course of
Not good.
over the
Negative
course
1.
of 4 years of college, of low-tier college, Division I college football, Tim Boyle has a touchdown to passing ratio of 13 to 26 or 27. 14 to 26 or 27.
Not great.
His big year at Eastern Kentucky, where he went 13 and 13, he had threw for 2,100 yards. This is not a guy who's going to come in like a Mike White, and all of a sudden the offense is going to look great, and Zach Wilson sucks, and we can just wipe our hands of it clean and move on. The reason Tim Boyle 2018 NFL draft, undrafted, was signed to
Don't know. Giants.
the Green Bay Packers.
I was going to say the Packers. I thought it was grabbing
no.
He was signed to the Green Bay Packers,
Packers.
underneath offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett, 3rd string quarterback behind Aaron Rodgers. That's why he's here now. That's why he was the 2 and not Simeon, and that's why he will be the starter on Friday and not Simeon. Simeon's not a great option either. Let's not get it twisted. And then Zach will be the de facto emergency quarterback 3, I believe. So he'll be dressed, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be in the emergency quarterback role, where the only way he's allowed in the game is if both quarterbacks get hurt. I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to go down. He's not going to count towards the actual 46 that are dressed. Little graphic, if you paid attention to the last night's game, you might have noticed it. The Kansas City Chiefs had 5 dropped passes in the game on Monday night, which made they're the number 1 team in the NFL with 26 dropped passes. Number 2 is the New York Jets with 21. They were tied going into Monday night for the most drop passes in the NFL. The offensive line, they've played 14 total different offensive linemen, 8 different possible combinations of offensive lines through 11 games. And coming into this Black Friday game against Miami, Mekhi Becton has a low ankle sprain. They're saying he's going to try to go, but realistically, he probably won't be able to go. And that'll be the 3rd different left tackle that they've started this year. The offensive line is a mess. The play calling is in shambles. Everything about this offense sucks. Zach has sucked. Don't get me wrong. I'm not here dying on the Zach Wilson shield. But there's plenty of blame to go around for why this offense is bad.
Hey, the Jets dropped enough passes that is an entire game of completions.
Yeah. 21.
Think about that.
And
21.
Alan Lazard, another fucking Rodgers goon, has 7 of them.
Lazard?
A third.
Lazard has a third of the team's drops.
2 games worth.
Crazy. Listen, I don't think I think the season's over, obviously, right? But
Yeah, I would say so.
I'm looking at Simeon's stats: 4 fourth quarter comebacks, 3 game-winning drives, and his career. I know he's a little older, but his career: 42 touchdowns, 28 interceptions, 7,000 yards.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a better option there.
It's going to slap in the face to throw Boyle out there, but he knows the system a little better. I mean, we saw that Josh Dobbs could do it. Seriously.
But Simeon's been there. It's not like he doesn't know the system.
Part of me genuinely believes the Jets are doing this so that way it's just like, white flag is up. You guys thought it was all Zach. Let's prove you wrong. Part of me also believes, like, when nothing's working, they have 9 touchdowns in 10 games, averaging less than a touchdown a game. When the offense isn't producing, you need to do something different eventually. There are other moves I would have made before we went to pull Zach, because now, in my opinion, you can't go back to him. Not this year.
I don't think you could ever go back to him now.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
And
tough.
Zach seems like a good kid. This is what I was saying to my buddy Ross. My buddy Ross texted me, asked me, you think he's got a future in the league? Because he's obviously done here. What do you think? You think he's going to wind up somewhere else and be good? And I said, I don't really know. Like, because we knew we drafted raw talent at 2 overall. We took raw talent. We threw him right into the fire with nothing that even resembled a competitor, a veteran to lean on. None of that. He went in as the unquestioned starter going into his first year. And we know how the first 2 years panned out. And I think the New York media, the product on the field, everything that happened completely just sucked all of this kid's vibrato and fire out of him. Because people have already forgotten. Now, maybe you guys don't really watch college too much. Zach Wilson was a fiery personality who would talk shit to everybody on the field. Now, that's gone. Maybe it's humility. You know what it seems like to me? You know when you put someone on antidepressants and then they're not depressed anymore, but they also have no personality anymore? All of their personality is completely turned off? That's what happened to Zach Wilson. He's on Lexapro. So I don't even know. Like Darnold, I believe, get him in a Shanahan offense and it would work. I don't even know what kind of what kind of coach would be able to take him on and turn him into something. I do know the talent's there, though. Bless you.
Thank you.
Pete Carroll.
That's interesting.
That would be something.
That is interesting.
I don't know, but it would be something.
Yeah. That actually makes a lot of
You won't
sense.
think about it now. But if the Gino thing is just we're done with Gino, I know he's got 3 years left. Say what? How long does Drew Lock have left on the deal?
It's got to be almost up.
Yeah.
It's got to be, say it's a year, right? Obviously Zach's done after this year as a Jet. It's the 3rd year, right?
Probably he's done. Probably done.
So we're not picking up the 5th year. So the 4th. Can you decline a 4th year, or is this the 4th year?
No, he's going into his 4th year. You decline the 5th year at the end of this season.
So
Third.
I think there's.
He's in his 3rd year. At the end of this year.
5th year at the end of the third,
At the
right?
end of the 3rd, yeah.
Yeah. So he'll have one more year on the Jets.
So he'll have one more technical year. Maybe he'll sit. Maybe he'll be on the team.
Rodgers hopefully.
But I think I'm anticipating that the way the rest of the season goes, something bad comes out that we hear in the media or somebody reports on, oh, this is how this was handled. And then we see a deal happen where Zach's traded for draft compensation.
For what, a 7th? That could be a 6th.
Yeah.
Hey,
Probably.
I want to make this
value.
clear.
And then, you know what? Maybe he shows up in Seattle and then he has an electric game. And then, you know what? Good for him.
I don't expect it to happen next year.
No,
It's gonna
no.
be years down the
Just
line.
down
The
the
same
line.
thing that happened with Gino. He sat for 3 years and then he got another opportunity and it worked out.
Make it very clear. I don't. The teams miss all the time,
All
right?
the time.
Trey Lance, they missed with Trey Lance.
Absolutely.
They missed worse with Trey Lance than they ever did with Zach Wilson, right?
Yeah, but they're good. That's the
Right.
difference,
So,
yeah.
but why does nobody talk about it?
Because
Well,
of Brock Purdy.
Yeah. Yeah. Brock Purdy saved a lot of people.
Wins, right? That's 1. 2, because they have a formidable quarterback, and 3, because they just said we missed, and they got rid of him and they moved on, and that's what the Jets have to do this offseason. They say, we missed. Go. I think Jack's right. Go try to go get a fifth round pick from him, and be like, we missed, but we're here now, and we have a good quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be healthy for at least 1 year. Knock on wood, you hope. And that's it. And then people will give them. Then all right, they give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt that, we missed. No big deal. But that's the problem that I think they're trying to hold on to this right now, and try to prove to Jet fans especially, like, no, we didn't miss. You'll see. And at some point, the Jet fans are like, dude, it's over. We missed.
I mean, they're calling him the white Jamarcus Russell. And the numbers are comparable.
Yeah?
The numbers are comparable. But
That's tough.
the one thing that makes it better on the Jets is they took Zach at 2, right? Then Trey goes at 3, like you mentioned. He's on his 2nd team as a 3rd stringer. Justin Fields fighting for fucking dear life. He went 12th, I think. He's fighting for dear fucking life with the Chicago Bears. And then Mac Jones went 15th, and he's going to be out of town. Nobody even respects him in New England anymore. So that's the only thing that makes it better is that. And then I saw some people calling Trevor Lawrence white Dak Prescott. So people aren't viewing this quarterback class to be like phenomenally high, is my point. One thing I know I beat it to death like a horse. I don't want to harp on it too long, but everybody in their right mind is blaming Joe Douglas for not having a more competent quarterback 2 on the roster behind Aaron Rodgers. I can't say it again after this. There's too much money tied up between the two of them. You could not put another $10 million into a 3rd quarterback. It wouldn't have been realistic. Stop blaming Joe Douglas for that. This defense that we're calling the 85 Bears defense, they don't wake up until fucking 3 minutes into the 2nd quarter every single game, no matter what. So I think there's blame to be fucking had for everybody on the team right now for the way things are going. And this is my closing point on the Jets. As it stands right now, 11th overall pick, I do not expect it to be a quarterback.
So, how I feel, because my points on the Jets, I can't, here's the most exciting thing I have to say. Bob shaved his beard, he's Bob for the rest of the
Good
season.
old Coach Bob.
Coach Bob. Bobby Salami.
Yeah, I really got nothing on the Jets. You guys pretty much feel the same.
So, I'll use my Jets closing points on some draft things I've been thinking about. I think Bo Nix is going to be a Patriot. I think he's going to jump the odds, and I think the Patriots are going to like him.
Hey, Alessino, did you hear what he just said?
I would love nothing more than that.
Remember what I said 3 years ago about the Patriots and Mac Jones?
Yeah.
Copy paste. I fucking dare Bill Belichick to draft Bo Nix.
Copy paste.
I fucking dare you, Bill. If he's even still there.
It's too high, Jack. They would never. It's too high.
No, I think what happens is like Combine comes in. Oregon has a last great couple of games. He's technically a senior at this. He's a 7-year fucking senior.
6-year.
6-year. Senior Bowl happens. Combine happens. We saw it happen with Anthony Richardson.
Right now, they have him going 45 on the mocks.
Wow.
I think he jumps it.
That's day 2. Well, not day. Yeah.
Yeah, it's day 2.
That's day 2. I think he jumps
High
it.
second round.
Yeah, 45, second round.
But
Which makes sense.
To who?
But whatever. That's a different time. That's a different time.
Who's it going to?
Who did they mock?
Falcons.
Falcons.
Interesting.
And that makes sense, truthfully.
it does.
But that's for a whole different fucking segment.
And
We
let's go skill positions, baby. Let's go.
Nah, I mean, we're not gonna talk about the draft now.
No, we don't. But there's nothing else for me to look at. So
We're losing at home Alcina, right?
I'm gonna hang up with you and call you back, Anthony, and then we're gonna play guess the lines.
Alright.
Little guess the lines here. Yeah, we kind of talked about it off camera a little bit. These games are tough. I mean, the matchups are not entertaining.
I feel like every time I go to play guess the lines in the past 4 weeks, my eyes hurt, and I feel like I get a little anxiety, and I'm not an anxious person.
Last week, well, not because I don't have last week's, but last week's matchups were all defensive stalemates. I feel like on the spreads, and I was like, maybe this week will be better, but it's not even defensive stalemates this week. It's just a lot of bad teams versus other bad teams.
Yeah, but then there's some of those bad teams, their defense is all right, and then
Yeah, but then you have games like the Giants and the Patriots and what else we got? Cincinnati Steelers might be. They don't have Joe Burrow, so that's what?
You said that, and then I thought Bengals. So
Yeah. Who else? Oh, shit. Yeah, I mean, some of them are tough. But, I mean, we'll see. We got a nice little Thanksgiving slate. Luckily, they put the biggest blowout on at 4:30, so we can eat, I guess. Even though the night game's not much better. San Francisco versus Seattle. Who's the backup in Seattle? Drew Lock, we were talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Is Gino not gonna play?
I don't know. Last I heard, he was questionable. I don't think there's been anything really in stone
he
yet
was warming
about
up on the
Geno.
sideline during the game to try and go back in, and then just didn't. So I don't know.
Dan Hooker pops out of a Boston fight versus Bobby Green.
Oh, damn.
You ready?
Little UFC
He would have
game.
fucking smoked Bobby Green. Yeah, we're still on the air.
Oh shit. Okay.
Welcome back.
So yeah, you wanna get us into it?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Let's play week 12. Guess the lines. I'm still the only one in the room without a win. So it's
Really?
it's tough. Yeah, I haven't won one yet.
Alcina, how'd you come this week?
How's my what?
How'd you come this week?
Did
I
just
can't hear you
ask me
saying.
how he came?
How what?
How you coming this week?
How am I coming?
Yeah, and guess the lines.
It's
I feel pretty good.
All right.
All right.
You got to defend that title, I guess. Let's go Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, 12:30 p.m. At this point, hopefully you've got a couple of beers in you. If you partake in the devil's lettuce,
At
you definitely
12:30?
should. Yeah, why the fuck not?
Dude, what else do we have to look forward to?
Thanksgiving is beers in the shower. For me, Thanksgiving's beers in the shower.
Some
All right,
sunshine
come on.
in the shower?
Especially depending on what your relationship is like with your family. If you know there's going to be politics discussed. If God forbid, if you're one of us New Yorkers and you got a mixed fanhood going on,
Yeah.
you're going to have Giants fans that are going to talk shit to you about how bad Zach Wilson is. But then they're sitting on a team that's awful. It's going to be a lot of nonsense. You might want to get banged up early. Green Bay at Detroit. I have Detroit just under a touchdown, -6.5.
Same.
I went too high. I went at 9.5 because I'm riding that Detroit train, baby.
I went 7.5.
Do you have the real spreads
I will
written
pull them
down or
up.
no?
Oh wow.
I got him.
I
Pull
fumbled.
them up or you got them?
Man, Brian's got it. Massive production error.
We're a little tired this week. We're just trying to stumble.
It's -7.5.
Alcino Bing Bong.
Oh, dude. He came hard this week.
Electric start, dude.
Moving on to the dinner time game slot here. We got the Washington Seawords at Jerry World taking on the Dallas Boys. I got the Boys minus 9.5.
I got
Good.
the boys at 16.5.
Minus 12.
Yikes! I went 9.5.
It's minus 11
It's minus
for
11.
you boys.
So that's, what'd you have, Jack?
16.
Yes, that's Brian for 1.
We're just done with giving the Dallas
No.
the shittiest lines ever.
Well, I mean, it would have been hard to make them. Would have been hard to make Dallas 16-point favorites over Washington. You know?
Yeah, I guess.
No, we're good.
San Francisco at Seattle for the 8:20 game. You know, this is the pumpkin pie matchup, I suppose. San Fran at Seattle. I got San Fran minus 11.5.
Holy fuck! I went
Good.
4.5.
Minus 7. Just, you can keep going before me. That's fine.
Yeah, Jack, I went 5.5.
Oh, we're somewhere.
It's San Fran minus 7. That's why I was putting my hand in
Minus-
the air.
Oh, wow. What did you have?
I had minus 7 for San Fran.
Oh, it's a bing bong.
Yeah.
So just like on the Thursday games, just like then, I'll be banged up. Right now, I'm banged up. I'm gonna just set the expectations at a minimum.
Okay. We're moving on into the first ever Black Friday game. Hopefully going to be a nice long-standing tradition of the Jets getting their ass kicked every year. Brought to us by Amazon Prime. We have the Miami Dolphins at the New York Jets. So I'm just going to show this for just like, I crossed the wrong team off here, but obviously that's not where I was going with
Right.
it. I have the Miami Dolphins minus 9.5.
I took the Miami Dolphins minus 8.5.
I took a minus 10.
12.5.
They're minus 10.
God damn, really?
Yeah.
Whoa!
I know. That's really why I put my hand in the air, because I was doing the whole thing.
God damn, that sucks. All right.
Find the next one.
So we're going to move on into the regular Sunday slot here. By the way, bye weeks are over. No bye weeks this week. New Orleans Saints at Atlanta taking on the Falcons. I have the away New Orleans Saints minus 2.5.
I made this game a pick'em.
I have the Saints minus 3.
Yeah, I got Saints minus 2.5. I don't like to pick them, Jack, but go ahead.
I don't like a lot of things, dude, but we're still here.
It's Saints minus 1.
Is that?
I don't know how that works with that.
Pick'em's a half. No.
That's Jack's, isn't it?
I was gonna say I think it is. Jack.
Holy fuck! Let's go,
No,
dude. We're live.
But this is why I don't like it, because pickup means no spread, right? So you're not saying who you want to win. So if you go 0.5 Atlanta, then you wouldn't get the point because you wouldn't choose the right team to win. You know what I mean?
Right. I also don't like to pick 'em because games are so rarely a pick 'em on fucking Tuesday. Usually
Yeah,
it starts
Jack,
between
good
1
point.
and 1.5 in either direction, and then people bet it down, and it winds up closing at a pick 'em.
To be very honest with you, my brain capacity wasn't capable of handling such an odd lineup, like an odd game. So I kind of just went with the pick'em.
Fair enough. Next 1 o'clock game, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Cincinnati Bengals, who will be without their fearless leader, Joey Burr. Backup's not ripping anymore. Who's their backup? Kyle Allen? No.
Browning.
Browning.
Oh, I thought it was Allen.
So I have Pittsburgh minus 1.5.
I took the Cincinnati Bengals minus 3.5.
I took Pittsburgh minus 3.5.
I took Pittsburgh minus 2.5.
It's Pittsburgh minus 1.
Pittsburgh minus 1. Let's go. I'm on the board. Carolina Panthers at Tennessee. Realistically, hindsight being what it is, I probably went too low here, but I have the Titans minus 1.5.
I have the Titans minus 5.
Minus 3.5 for the Titans.
Yeah, 3.5 is right.
It's minus 4.
You guys both gonna get one?
Yeah.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to Indianapolis to take on Gardner Minshew and the Colts. I have the Colts minus 1 at home in this matchup.
I have the Colts minus 2 in this matchup.
I have Tampa
I have
Bay
Tam-
minus 2. Yeah, all right. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I have Tampa minus 1.5.
It's Colts minus 2.5.
So what'd you
All
have, Jack?
2.
God damn. Getting my ass kicked again. It's not good. New England Patriots going to Meadowlands to take on the Big Blue, the New York Football Giants. I'm going to swerve you guys here. I have the Giants being favored by 1.5.
I also have the Giants being favored by 1.5.
Pats -1.
Yeah, I mean, Pats -2.5.
It's
Pats -2.5. Pats -1. 1.5 for both of us.
Yeah.
It's New England -3.
So that's you.
No, it's him. He's got 2.5.
I don't know.
I just Bailey Zappi's going to play quarterback, and that's how.
I know they weren't going to respect the Giants. They just knew it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah,
Fair.
of course, 100%.
It's fair, but I figured 2 dog shit matchups with backup quarterbacks. The home team gets the points. That's how I did it. Jacksonville Jaguars at Houston. The seemingly almost as quick as the Lions became America's team, it's almost like they've already lost it to Houston here. I have Jacksonville -4 on the road.
I took Jacksonville -5 on the road.
Jacksonville -4.
If you say Houston, I'm gonna
Houston
punch this eye
-1.5.
back, dude.
Yeah, you can't afford that. What'd you say?
Houston -1.5.
Well, right spread, wrong team. Jacksonville -1.5.
So what did you have?
I had 4.
I had 5. You had 4. He had 1.5.
So me and Bryan split it.
Hey. I didn't want to win.
Neither. I mean,
God damn it. I have nothing.
Cleveland Browns at Denver. Cleveland rolling DTR out there once again. I know they got a win over Pittsburgh this past week, but I'm not buying it. I got Denver -2.5.
I got a Cleveland Quattro on the board, so that's Cleveland -4.
Denver -3.
Denver -2.5, and the lowest scoring game of the week.
It's Denver -2.5. For
Yeah,
it.
all right, good. So I get a bing bong that means nothing. So we love that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games
No
left.
buys.
Brian's got 7, Alessino has 6, I have 4, and Jack has 2. The Los Angeles Rams going to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. I'm going to have to take the Rams -2.5 in this one.
I'm gonna go for the Rams -3.
Rams -3.5.
Rams -5.
It's Rams -1.
Was I the closest?
You got it.
Let's go. Kansas City Chiefs at Vegas to take on this newly fired up Raider team. I got Kansas City just under a touchdown here at 6.5.
I got Kansas City at 10.5.
I have 6.5 for Kansas City as well.
7.5.
It's 8.5.
That's Alessino, and it's tied. I'm one bing bong away from a 3-way tie with you guys here.
All right.
Buffalo Bills at Philadelphia taking on the 9-1 Philadelphia Eagles. I have Philadelphia -6 at home.
I got the home team with the touchdown.
I got a -3.5.
Yeah, 4.5.
It's 4.
Tie goes to the lower seed. Brian retakes a lead by 1 point.
Wait, you had 3.5, Brian?
Yeah, I had 3.5, and it was 4.
All right, cool.
The price is right, Bob.
Damn.
Lamar Jackson's Baltimore Ravens are traveling to one of the worst teams in football, in my opinion, the LA Chargers. I got Baltimore a clean 7 here.
I took the good old Baltimore by 6.5.
-5.5.
I did 6.5 as well.
It's -3.5.
So who gets that?
What did you have, Jack?
6.5.
I had 5.5.
You had what, Alessino?
6.5.
I think
Jack
it's you.
gets it.
Yeah. Oh, Jack gets it. All right, nice.
No, Brian gets
Yeah,
it.
I was gonna say. I think I get it. I had 5.5. Not. What did you have, Jack?
6.5.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's 3.5. I mean,
Jack, speak up. Don't take the point.
Speak up, dude. I said 6.5 fucking 3
I
times.
watched your
No, I
face
know.
go, I should be.
I
point.
thought Jack was right. That's why I was like, wait a minute, he did say that. And then someone else was like, it's Jack. And I was like, all right, it's Jack.
I was someone else.
Sorry.
It's okay.
You're just trying to give me points. I'm too busy fucking sucking this week.
Whoa,
Well,
it's not like that.
you're-
You can give him the point.
Yeah, dude, you can suck. That's all right. Everyone sucks once in a while.
What's the score going into the last one?
You're down by 2.
Damn you.
Yeet.
Yeah, you need to spike this one on its fucking head for everything it's worth. Chicago Bears at Minnesota. I got the Vikings -2.5.
I got the Vikings minus 3.5.
Same as Jack.
6.
6?
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I have a -5. It is -3.5. That's my 5.
So I fucking bing bong.
So he
for
bing bonged.
absolutely
You
nothing.
bing bonged for nothing. But you got the points.
You bing bonged to still come in last place.
That's great, dude. I fucking covered the spread. Yeah.
Final score. Stop throwing shit, dude. What the
It's open
fuck?
space. I'm about to throw a flag on the play.
Brian with 9. Alessino with 7. I had 5 and Jack had 4. Let's guess the lines. Get the fucking timer going.
No, I don't have
Get the
anything to
timer
talk
going,
about.
dude.
Better find something.
Brian,
Yeah, do favor and don't win that.
you have a minute.
I didn't expect to win. I never expect to win.
Hold on.
Just
Your
so
minute
everyone
didn't
knows.
start
I
yet.
always expect Alessino and Hawk to win.
I haven't won once all year.
Well, that's usually who was winning.
Alrighty, folks. Welcome to
Oh, God.
the Stay Thirsty Company Winner's Circle.
Nice.
Brian,
I'm glad we gave that up.
1 minute on the clock.
Oh, God.
You may start.
All right. So happy Thanksgiving to all the listeners out here.
To all who
All
participate.
participate. I feel like it should be everyone. 'Cause isn't it like an American holiday too? But yeah. Wish the football games were a little bit better. There is really not much going on besides this Green Bay Detroit game, which probably isn't even going to be that good. Honestly, though, I'm going to take this time to say turkey is kind of overrated. I get that it's a staple of Thanksgiving, but it's just dry. We could serve chicken or ham or something else besides turkey. I never got it. I'm really more of a dessert guy, I guess. But regardless, it's how much longer I got.
You 50
But regardless, I hope everyone has a good time, even if they do like turkey. Me personally, I'm gonna have to douse that shit in gravy to even think that it's acceptable. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
And
That's
time.
it. There we go.
He's a sweet man. He likes his sweets. He's
Brian,
a
I
sweet
agree
man.
with you. Turkey is fucking overrated.
It's just overrated.
I don't even care if there's a difference between white meat and dark meat. Don't give a fuck, dude.
Dude, it's not overrated because that's why it only happens once a year. Like, they understand. But it's
Yeah,
perfectly rated for once a year.
Yeah, dude, that's great. I could go get a fucking rotisserie chicken and produce the same fucking result.
I was about to say, just throw me fucking 3 rotisserie chickens on the fucking table.
It's gonna be more juicy. It's gonna taste better.
Get him for $5 at Costco.
Yeah, dude, you don't need no fucking gravy to
I'll
eat
make
that.
the sides. Just bring the rotisserie chicken.
I'm like turkey is what it is. You know, that's look ass. It's
Also-
turkey, but I'm a sides man. I'm a big personally. There have been Thanksgivings
Absolutely.
where I don't even touch the fucking
Nope.
the turkey, which
Yeah.
is load this plate up with sides and carbs and get fat.
Absolutely.
So this is what we're gonna do. Favorite side. What's favorite side that's on the table at an Alessino Thanksgiving?
It's a little different because it's like very Italian.
I know you guys are Ginzo
It's,
out.
You guys have
stuffed
fucking
artichoke.
stuffed shells?
Just don't what?
Stuffed artichoke.
Oh, God.
Okay. I mean that's a little Ginzoed out, but I'm sure that's pretty normal.
I bet that doesn't taste bad, after like 7 beers.
Yeah, I don't know about stuffed artichoke.
Jack,
It's
whatever.
fucking amazing.
Well, I want you to take the first gander because I feel like ours is pretty standard.
Alright, that's not necessarily true. Let's go to Brian.
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
My family makes mac and cheese for Thanksgiving.
I'm not gonna say what I want to say.
I know
It's
it's a
not a
highly debated
Thanksgiving-
thing. I know.
No, but here's
But-
the thing.
but
It's
Didn't
highly
we do
debated.
this podcast?
If I had to pick a staple,
whatever.
it would be mashed
That's awesome,
potatoes.
B.
If we're
That's
staying with
awesome,
the
B.
yeah.
That's where I was going.
If I had to pick a Thanksgiving staple, though, it would be mashed potatoes. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I feel like what he's saying is that we're gonna have the same answer and that it's mashed potatoes. Now I do love mashed
No.
potatoes on Thanksgiving, specifically at my house. For one reason, growing up as a kid, it was always boxed mashed potatoes, unless it was my dad's birthday or Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then Ann whipped
We're
out
beating
the
them up.
fucking. Yeah, we got the beater out there. We got
Yep.
the bowl. We're making real mashed potatoes.
Absolutely.
But no, my
So
favorite.
much fucking butter.
My
So
favorite
good.
Thanksgiving side has got to be sweet potato pie.
Oof.
Little sweet
Yeah,
potato
neither
pie.
is that.
I like that because
No, but let me be clear. Sweet potato pie is a fucking side at dinner. It's not a dessert. It has no place being on the dessert table. It's a
Yeah.
side at dinner.
Also, one thing to clarify on the sweet potato pie, because I've been coming up on this. I really am not a fan of the sweet potatoes. I'm not a fan of them. But
me either.
the sweet potato casserole with the toasted marshmallow on top.
That's sweet potato pie.
Dude, it's making moves. It's making waves, and I can't lie. I'm not gonna put it in here because it's not my pick. Some good old stuffing, and I ain't talking about this fucking homemade stuffing that people make. There's some fucking sausage stuffing that tastes like burnt dog shit. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
You're wrong.
No, I want fucking
I just said
stovetop.
Valentina. She said stuffing.
But now you gotta ask her: Is it
No, no, no.
homemade? Is it homemade cornbread sausage stuffing, or is it specifically stovetop? Yeah, get up, get your laps in.
Valentina, is it homemade? What do you say?
Cornbread stuffing.
Oh my god. Is it homemade cornbread stuffing that you like, or is it the stovetop shit?
Homemade.
shit.
So now we have a debate. Now we have a debate.
No. Yeah, here's the problem with all
We're
this
not gonna
fucking
debate.
stuffing. Because people, no, I have a point to make. Okay,
The good people at stovetop.
the good people at Stovetop
really.
have been making stovetop stuffing for generations, and every time it slaps like no other. So therefore, I don't understand when I show up to multiple different family Thanksgivings, and fucking people make their homemade sausage and bullshit stuffing, and it tastes like shit. Why are you trying that hard if you can't do it? If you can't do it like the greats, I don't need to hear about it.
It's even weirder because she makes the stuffing.
Valentina, I bet your stuffing's absolutely fucking delicious, but you know
Well,
what?
tell them that's my wife.
He was
Damn,
complimenting her.
I said her stuffing's probably delicious.
He's talking about. He said he bet your stuffing's delicious, which kind of feels vulgar.
It's
said
fucking
it-
2 days
he said it
until
kinda
Thanksgiving,
feels vulgar.
dude.
Yeah.
All right, say what you want to say, and then I'm reeling this back in.
It's fucking Thanksgiving. What the fuck?
Are you good?
My
No.
question is does your family make homemade stuffing? Because he's like...
Yes, and I don't like
Oh,
it.
man. So this is like an indirect shot to...
Well,
No, it's not a shot, but I just...
cake could barely fry an egg. So
Yo,
watch
fuck
that.
off.
Tell you what, next Thanksgiving you make the stuffing.
I'm gonna make it fucking
that's a good
stovetop,
idea.
dude.
No stovetop allowed. You'll be disqualified. Let's get into these Thanksgiving games, and then we'll wrap it up for episode 132 here.
Fuck.
Green Bay at Detroit, and the spread wound up being, dude, get it together over there.
What just happened?
We have a whole nother episode to record. Get it together.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh no. We have a whole nother episode.
Yeah. What'd you think was going on? We were all going to get together Thursday morning and record it?
Martin. I'm sorry.
Good Lord. What is the spread again on the Green Bay Detroit game? I don't have the real spreads.
It's too
in front of me.
little.
-7.5.
Detroit's -7.5. I'm going Detroit in this one.
Yeah.
Anthony?
Yep, I'm looking. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they're big spreads. All these games.
What?
There are big spreads. All of these games.
Yeah. For sure.
I'm gonna say, I like the Lions -7.5. I probably won't touch the middle game. Commanders and Cowboys. I probably won't touch. Or I like the Seahawks.
Really? You like the Seahawks money line or outright or what?
Probably a little bit of both, but definitely +7. And Vegas likes it too because it's -115 at DraftKings right now. So
Damn. I wonder why.
I think they're better than everybody than people think, and I think that
You still feel that way if Drew Lock's running the ship?
no, not at all. But is he supposed to play?
I'm not sure. I thought
Because
Gino
he
was
got
injured.
back in, didn't he?
No, I'm pretty sure. I can actually find out in 2 seconds. Cause
As I'm almost positive Gino did not make it back on the field on Sunday.
Gino's triceps still a little bit better. Not practicing.
So, what's the spread on the Seattle game here?
7.
7? I thought we were talking about the Detroit Green Bay game.
We were.
We're talking about all Thursday night games, all Thursday games.
Well, we got a whole nother show here, so we want to do this here, or do we want to wait?
I want to do the Thursday games here, and then we're
Okay,
gonna...
well, here's what I'm thinking. If Drew Lock's running the ship, it feels like JSN's going to have a game, because that guy only throws the ball deep. He's just the new Carson Wentz, but he can't fucking run. So I'm going to be looking at JSN props, possibly a touchdown. And Detroit Lions, I think this year, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take Jameson Williams for an anytime touchdown. I'm definitely looking at that. I feel like something like that's going to hit different.
Hey, that was the best 30 seconds you've had all year on air, Jack.
Jack did good on Thursday with basketball.
Yeah,
props.
Jack did really good on Thursday.
I didn't hear it.
You
I
weren't
didn't hear
there
it.
and you didn't listen to the show, so.
Yeah, that was the best 30 seconds. That was the most educated 30 seconds I've heard. It was a compliment, Jack.
Wah, you missed it.
Kids are
You can't compliment the kid, I guess.
No, you can't.
No, because now I'm fucking...
You can't criticize, you can't compliment, you can't say anything to him, dude. It's the worst.
I roll my
But
own ways.
he wants to be treated like a grown man.
I know. I'm going
Detroit.
Detroit, Dallas, San Fran against the spreads.
Okay.
No.
Heavy favorites.
All right.
Heavy favorites on my favorite holiday of the year.
I'm also doing the same thing, so.
Brian's also in on the heavy favorites.
Also, I didn't even think about Dallas here, but I think there's going to be a Thanksgiving Day parlay. I think there's going to be at least 4 parlays on Thanksgiving now that I'm thinking about it, because I'm not going to have too much else to do. One for each game, and then we're going to do a total touchdown parlay, because I've been talking about touchdowns this whole fucking time. So you know what? Now that I think about it, if I'm looking at touchdowns, I'm not really looking at the Commanders unless I'm looking at shot guy, and I really don't want to bet on shot guy. So I think, you know what? I think I'm going to look at a CeeDee Lamb touchdown, get my odds in there. You know, he's probably still sitting somewhere easy.
Probably
You know,
one
maybe
of
I'll
the
bet
last
on,
105.
for the first time in my betting career, I think I'm going to bet on Dakota. I think I might bet on the passing yards or attempts, because I think they're just going to air this bitch out. And then I didn't even talk about Seattle a little bit, but like San Francisco, maybe look at some tackles, see if I can get a forced fumble or something specifically.
The Thanksgiving tackle parlay is going to be unreal.
Yeah, I hit on one last week, and now I got the
We're
edge.
going fucking Fred Warner. We're going. I don't even know. Leighton Vander Esch might have to retire.
Problem with Fred Warner is
so.
he's entering Roquan Smith territory where you're
Yeah.
like getting 6.5, like, and you're like, okay.
The man's the best middle linebacker.
Who'd you
in
take
football.
for your handicaps for the other two, Alcino? Between the late games.
Cowboys and Seahawks.
What about you for this one?
What's the
-7.
what's the between all of us? The third game.
It's me and your brother, and Alcino on an island.
I'll ride with Little T. I'll go for I'll go for Seattle.
Yeah, little T.
Respectfully.
T-Bone.
Yeah.
I like T-Bone, dude.
T-Bone.
Mr. T-Bone.
Goddamn,
T-Bone.
T-Bone is fucking pretty good, dude.
T-Bone's old school.
And of 1,000 names. That's what I am.
That's Dean Malenko. That's Jimmy.
He's also kind of a man of 1,000.
Yeah.
It's all right though. So, yeah, I wish we had more exciting games on Thursday, but it is what it is. That pretty much we've all made our picks, right?
Yeah.
We've all staked our claim here. Any closing remarks?
No. Not really.
If you don't like stovetop stuffing, you're a fucking cuck.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
That's it. No, I got nothing to say.
We're brought to you by House of Havoc Podcasting, State Thursday Company, Dino Skate Park, and Justin Shop Shop at West Hampton Beach. Peace out.
Stay tuned. Shout out Mr. Ditka.